Remember when Fall Azarola came out last, fall, and I was saying like, we're gonna get a new poison type that completely overshadows her soon. Well guys, it did not even take a year. In this video, we talk about Oleana and the garbage Pokemon and see the good sides, the bad sides, and the ugly sides of this sync pair. So with that said, strap on your seatbelts, sit tight, and let's begin this analysis. Here we go. Yo, 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 this is Sol, also known as SPL Gum, also known as Spatial Gum, also known as Grunt, Yardi's Team Skull Grunt, and this is Pokemon Masters EX, guys. In this video, we talk about the second sync pair of the Galar villain arc, which is Oleana and Garbodor. This is a Poison-type tech sync pair. And this is a Pokefair Scout. So if you're excited, guys, don't forget to hit the thumbs up right now, as well as let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Are you gonna scout for a copy or more than one copy of this sync pair or not? But in this video, we're going to talk about the full kit, the full package, 5 copies of Oleana and Garbodor. If you're only interested in getting one copy, guys, you can check this out. 1 out of 5 or none out of 5 video for these sync pairs where I discussed these in brief and not exactly tackling the full kit. So if you want to save time, you can go ahead and check out this video instead. But with that said, guys, we are going to talk about the full kit. And first of all, I would like to give a huge shout out to everyone for 10k subs. Again, if you haven't joined yet, the giveaway is ending soon. In less than 10 days, we will finally be raffling out the winners of my 10k giveaway. So if you haven't joined yet, and that means if I haven't replied to your comment yet of this counts as an official entry, that means you have not yet joined the 10k giveaway. And that means you're missing out on this cap and maybe some other items if we reach those milestones. So don't miss out. Join the giveaway as soon as possible. And follow me on Twitter as soon as possible as well for a chance to win those awesome prizes for free. And last but not the least, I would like to, again, self-advertisement. If you want to help me out, guys, I am needing a computer replacement in as soon as possible. And if you want to help out the channel monetarily, you can buy me a coffee / contribute a little bit for my computer thing by going to coffee.com/splgum, and you help me out upgrade my computer because I need this to work and make videos like this. So thank you guys in advance, and a huge shout out and thank you goes to all the people who have already been supporting me. Thank you to all the members of my channel for your awesome support and generosity, and a huge shout out as well to my gifters of my channel for the extra generosity. So with that said, without further ado, let us begin this discussion. So Oleana comes out 2 days after Rose, who is also a Pokefair. Rose is a Pokefair. Oleana is a Pokefair. The summer seasonals are seasonals, technically a tiered scout if you have money to do so, if you have gems to do so. The other two that follow them are a variety scouts. So if you have 7,500 paid gems, you can guarantee yourself one copy. But there's no way to guarantee a copy of Rose and Oleana until you get to scout points. 400 scout points guarantees you one copy, but that is 36,600 gems. If you don't know how many gems we're gonna have, you can check out my how many gems can we get video, where you will have an estimate of how many gems we can get for the remainder of July, and see if you will have enough for getting Oleana and Garbodor. And take note, guys, we are 2 updates before the anniversary. Next update, that's the August update, is gonna contain bait units. Bait units normally are good. So second half of the Galar villain arc, I'm again assuming that Cinderace will be coming, or maybe some other Pokemon for the second half of the Galar villain arc, as well as maybe other bait units. And some of you guys are saying that we will have Spotlight Scouts. I cannot say for sure if that's gonna happen with how stingy DNA is in terms of permanent units these days. But check this out for a number, for an estimate of how many gems we can get. So without further ado, guys, let's check out their stats first. Oleana over here, if you check this out, has the lowest attack stat. 336, not too low. Kiawe does not use the attack stat, so ignore that. Malo has the lowest at 88, but ignore that as well because we do not care about the attack stat. Summer Tate, we do not care about the attack stat. She has, or he has the highest attack stat, surprisingly, but it's not being used. Oleana's 336, which is not too bad for a tech unit, I guess. 170 for defense and 170 for special defense. Pretty okay. Speed stat average at 288 and HP stat average at 650. But, you know, stats are not everything. So let's check out her entire kit right now. Starting with, if you see this background image, congratulations, you have successfully scouted for the Chairman Rose's assistant. Very sus. The emotional Oleana and Garbodor. I have no idea if we will see her with her crazy facial expressions in this game. I hope so, because it's fun, I guess, watching her freak out. But she has two attacking moves. One can damage the opponent, that's Gunk Shot. It hits one opponent and is a 4 move gauge attack. Pretty expensive in terms of the move gauge. Has a 30% chance of leaving the opponent poisoned. But later, which we'll tackle now, we will know that every single time you poison the enemy, instead of poisoning normally, you badly poison the opponent with ally poisons, badly poison. So what this does is basically, if anyone in your team poisons an opponent, not just Oleana, if you have someone else, like for example, Alistair. If I'm not mistaken, Alistair almost, if not, has a 100% chance. Poisons the opponent when he uses his attacking move. I forgot what attack move that is. When the opponent gets poisoned, they get badly poisoned instead. And you know, badly poisoned doubles in damage, doubles in poison damage every single time the opponent gets hit with poison. So that is a very good thing. But, you know, there's another way of poisoning the opponent. And that is by using your G-Max move. G-Max Garbodor has a Dynamax move called G-Max Malodor. Which, this hits one opponent only, but it leaves all the opponents badly poisoned. Because again, ally poisons, badly poisoned. And one more thing is that if you use a max move on the opponent, every single opponent will get a poison type rebuff. And what this does is that it lowers or it strengthens every single one of your sync pairs poison type moves, making them hit harder on the opponent. So maybe if you want to use Oleana, first of all, use your Please Leave. That's your trainer move that basically lowers your sync move countdown -1, raises your attack +4, and raises your accuracy +2, raises your critical hit rate +3. So that your max move will hit hard. So raise your critical hit rate, raise your attack stat, use G-Max Malodor. Hit the opponent, strong damage, poison every single opponent, and hit all the opponents with a poison type rebuff -1. Making your next few attacks stronger. Now that every single opponent is badly poisoned, you can use Venom Drench. And 2 uses, guys. Normally, Venom Drench lowers the opponent's attack, special attack, and speed stat -1. You have another passive skill called Status Pokemon Move on Poison Opponent Stat Down ×3. Such a complicated passive skill. This, guys, is the longest passive skill so far in the game that is in the passive skills section. Status Pokemon Move on Poison Opponent Status Down ×3. So, this time, instead of lowering the opponent's attack, the special attack, and speed stat -1, this triples the effect. So, the opponent will have their attack negative -3, special attack stat -3, speed stat -3, and take note that Venom Drench hits every single opponent. So this is technically better than Noble Roar. Noble Roar lowers the opponent's attack and special attack stat -1. With double drop, like for example, I think, who has double drop? Anniversary N. And I think if you can, if not Anniversary N, then that's Get Sis also has double drop. So instead of lowering one opponent's, Anniversary N can hit everyone. So instead of lowering one opponent's attack and special defense, or attack and special attack -2, or all the opponent's attack and special attack -2, this one, it lowers every single opponent's attack, special attack, and speed stat -3. Meaning you only have to use 2 Venom Drenches to lower the opponent's attack stat completely down, special attack stat completely down, and speed stat completely down, making the opponents really slow and really weak. Well, not really weak, but the weakest they could at that possible time. So make sure that you have your opponent poisoned first by using G-Max Malador. I think that's the best way to do this. So use your trainer move first, please leave. And then after that, you use G-Max Malador to poison all the opponents, give them a poison type rebuff, and then badly poison everyone. And then just use 2 Venom Drenches to lower the opponent's stats to -6. And guys, if you use your sync move, you have a multiplier. The lower the opponent's stats are, the stronger the damage. If I'm not mistaken, this maxes out at -18 or -21. If it maxes out at -18, guys, that's instant -18 already with lowered attack -6, special attack -6, speed -6. That's -18. Meaning your poison impact, you're still good with it. Poison impact hits the hardest it could hit. That's that. Gunk Shot is a problematic attack. It's 4 move gauges, and with that speed stat 288, it's not exactly that high. But you can use Venom Drench alternatively just to spend a turn, or you have a trainer move called Move Gauge Boost just to, you know, recover your move gauge. So not exactly a lot of problems with the move gauge in terms of using Oleana. So that's that. She also has Max Guard, but you want to use G-Max Malador on most occasions instead of Max Guard for that AoE poison, for that AoE rebuff, for that AoE... Well, you can use Max Guard for that AoE rebuff. Wait, no. Max move hit, Team Poison rebuff -1 when the user's max move targeting an opponent is successful. So I'm assuming Max Guard does not trigger max move hit, Team Poison rebuff -1 or down 1. You have to use G-Max Malador for this one. So in order to trigger all those passive skills, you want to use G-Max Malador on most occasions. So you have a Synchron to make her even more powerful. At 1 out of 5, you got Antitoxin, pretty worthless. 2 out of 5, you got Gunk Shot, staggering 1. Every single time you use Gunk Shot, you have a 20% chance of making the opponent flinch. Pretty expensive for a 4 move gauge attack. I'd rather get something else. You have Move Gauge Boost, MP Refresh, you have Natural Remedy, you have Please Live, Hit and Heal 9. When you use this, you will get a regen effect. You have an MP refresh for please leave so that you will raise your accuracy even more. You will raise your attack stat to maximum. Post haste 9. When you are hit with an attack with the opponent's attack, you will have your speed raised by 2 stat ranks. But maybe you don't want her as your tanker. You want a support as your tanker instead. Potent Toxin 2 raises the damage the opponent receives when they receive poison type or badly poison type damage. So this is optional, but this is also good. Makes the opponent, you know, if you're going for poison stall method, which Garbodor is very good at it, you can go for Potent Toxin 2. You have Toxic Power 2, powers up your normal attack, which is your Gunk Shot. When the opponent is poisoned / badly poisoned, 20% stronger. Virulent Toxin 2 powers up your Sync move. Max move, or rather 3 out of 5, you got Max Guard Team Shielding Strikes 2. I'd rather ignore this. Move Gauge Boost, Pep Rally speeds up everyone by 2 stat ranks when you use Move Gauge Boost. Please Leave Berserker 2 if you get this. When you use Please Leave, your attack stat will be +6 instead of +4. Power Play is basically her passive skill, her sync move built-in multiplier. The lower the opponent's stats are, the stronger they attack. That's Power Play. You got another Power Play in the sync grid, which again, this is one of the best multipliers in the game, if not the best multiplier. You have Rising Tide. I guess Rising Tide is better than Power Play because buffs are easier to get, to achieve than debuffs for the opponent. But as we can see with Oleana, very, very easy to trigger debuffs over here. So Power Play, double Power Play, very strong. Ramming Speed, the higher your speed stat is, the stronger the damage. You can raise your speed stat by going for, well, how do you raise your speed stat? You raise your speed stat. I know you have the speeding up by going for Post Haste 9, but is there another way of raising your speed stat? Not really, guys. You cannot raise your own speed stat with your trainer move. So if you want to go for Ramming Speed, either go for another Sync pair, which can raise your speed stat, or go for Post Haste 9, which is available at 2 out of 5. Toxic Power 3 is basically a powered version of Toxic Power 2. Virulent Toxin 5 powers up your Sync move times 5 or 50% when the opponent is badly poisoned. And to power up your G-Max Malador and your Sync moves, you got tiles for that at 3 out of 5. Now, this is a Poke Fair Scout. And Poke Fairs, again, these days have 4 out of 5 and 5 out of 5 because DNA just wants to steal money from all the players out here. So, 4 out of 5, you got Gunk Shot Ruthless Toxin 9. And what this does is that if the opponent is poisoned and you use an attack against it, that's Gunk Shot. Because Gunk Shot Ruthless Toxin 9, you get to randomly lower a stat -2. Either attack, either defense, either special attack, special defense, speed, accuracy, or evasiveness. Now, most of the time, you will not be using Gunk Shot until you use, Venom Drench before. So, if the opponent's attack stat, speed stat, and special attack stat is already -6, and RNG decides to lower, choose attack, special attack, or speed stat to lower with Gunk Shot Ruthless Toxin 9, you do not get to lower the opponent's stats. But if it's defense, special defense, accuracy, or evasiveness, well, it will lower that stat -2 if you attack the opponent using Gunk Shot if you get this tile at 4 out of 5. Max move team defense down -2, or rather team defense -2 down 2. When you use your max move, that's G-Max Malador, or you use Max Guard, you will lower all the opponent's defense stats -2. And 5 out of 5, you got Soften Up 1 again. What this does is that when you use a Sync move, it's only 80% chance of landing a critical hit if you have your critical hit rate +3. It lowers your critical hit rate -1 indirectly. And by having Soften Up 1, you're guaranteed to hit the opponent with a critical sync move as long as you have raised your critical hit rate. 5 out of 5. You also got Venom Drench 2 for 9. So when you use Venom Drench, your next move is gonna be free. And again, this does not have to, be successful. If the opponent has your attack stats, special attack stat, and speed stat already at -6, if you want a free move next, you can just use Venom Drench, and your next move, which is gonna be Gong Shot, will be free. Then if you're running out of move gauge, just use Venom Drench again, and your next move, your Gong Shot, is gonna be free. Venom Drench, Gong Shot, Venom Drench, Gong Shot. That is how you play with Venom Drench 2 for 9. So that is Oleana and Garbodor. What can I say, guys? 5 out of 5? Not exactly that. I mean, 2 for 9, probably optional. Soften Up 1, you can just restart your game, your battle, if you are not able to land a critical hit. If you're aiming for that critical hit, you can just restart your game, restart your play. 4 out of 5 Ruthless Toxin 9 is a good way to debuff the opponent, but maybe slow and RNG related. Max move team defense down 2 is okay, but pretty optional as well. It's either you go for Gong Shot Ruthless Toxin 9 or max move team defense down 2. But again, this is you cannot get everything. So now, let's talk about her grid, and let's see what they got. So let me just close this. So, this is a 5 out of 5 grid, a multiplier, or rather, a Sync Nuke build. So we got one power-up for Sync Move Power plus 25. We got another Sync Move Power plus 25 over here. We got Virulent Toxin 2. We got Virulent Toxin 5. And just because the easiest way to go for this is just going this route, so we went for power play, built-in power play plus another power play. The cheaper way is go for Soften Up 1 or Ruthless Toxin 9. You have a choice, either go for this or go for this, just to connect these two. And then we got a Gong Shot move gauge refresh 4, just so we can use Gong Shot more often. 50% chance of charging your move gauge by 1. So that's that. Soften Up 1, power play, blah 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 over here. That's our Sync Move Multiplier build, or Sync Nuke build. We got another build over here. Now this one has a lot to do with someone in your team buffing your speed up. Because we did not, again, as I said, we are not able to raise our speed stat on our own. Unless we got Post Haste 9, which is so far away. It's here, guys. So unless we got this, which we have to pass through Gong Shot Staggering 1 and go for this, Ramming Shot, a Ramming Speed will not do anything. We got Toxic Power 3, we got Toxic Power 2 over here. We got Gong Shot Ruthless Toxin to lower the opponent's stats. And we got these tiles over here, Gong Shot Accuracy plus 10. We got Gong Shot Move Gauge Refresh 4. We got Gong Shot Power plus 1 over here. These are the multipliers to make your Gong Shot as strong as possible. So again, Ramming Speed, Toxic Power 2, Toxic Power 3. Again, I guess we can remove this Ruthless Toxin 9. Probably we can remove this. Is it enough to get Post Haste 9 though? Let's see. Tak, 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 tak. Not enough immediately. So, bad idea. Just use another Sync pair to power yourself up. So over here, that's the attack move multiplier build. Now, not a lot of you are gonna go for 5 out of 5. So we got a 3 out of 5 build here, the same option. We got Gong Shot Accuracy plus 10, Gong Shot Power 1, Toxic Power 3, Toxic Power 2, Ramming Speed. And this basically, we got 2 move gauge refreshes, 30% chance and 50% chance of bringing back your move gauge. So your move gauge management is gonna not be bad here. So that is our 3 out of 5 DPS build. And last but not the least, we have our 3 out of 5 Sync Nuke build, which we got Sync Move Power plus 25, we got Virulent Toxin 5, we got Power Play, we got Virulent Toxin 2, we have Sync Move Power plus 25, and a Berserker 2 for your Sync Move or for your Trainer Move, so that you will raise your attack stat plus 6 if you use your Trainer Move. So those are that. And, well, earlier in my intro, I talked about Fall Iris. So, I got some comparison for you guys. This is Fall Iris. But if you guys are not aware, Marnie and Toxicroak are actually stronger in terms of the nuking. Or are they? Let's check this out, guys. So we got Sync Move, Power plus 25, Power plus 25, Power plus 25 over here. We got Double Down, Virulent Toxin 5, Trainer Move, MP Refresh 3 or MP Refresh 2 for Marnie and Toxicroak, because you will get a super effective next effect by using Shut Your Gob. So we got Critical Strike 2 over here. And let's check out the damage she can give herself super effective up next. No Poison Zone. And if we compute the damage at 6-star EX, you can deal 7,949,016 for Marnie and Toxicroak. Fall Iris over here, we can give ourselves Poison Zone. So let's give her Lucky Critical Strike 2 for this one. We give ourselves Poison Zone, the opponent's weak to poison, and we got Super Victory to give ourselves a super effective up next. If we compute the damage, that is 10,992,000. So it's definitely stronger than Marnie. But if we give Marnie that Poison Zone, that makes Marnie way stronger at 11,923,000. That Poison Zone makes a huge difference. So 10 million for Fall Iris, 7 million or 8 million, close to 8 million for Marnie and Toxicroak. What about Oleana and Garbodor? To make things fair, these are 5 out of 5 tiles, I think. Or I set them to 5 out of 5 just so we can see the damage. So, let's give her Critical Strike 2, 5 out of 5. She cannot give herself super effective up next. But you got 2 power plays. You cannot give yourself Poison Zone, but one thing that you can give yourself that the others cannot is a Poison type negative rebuff. So at -1, and if we set this to 6-star EX, compute the damage, that is equivalent to 10,141,092. And if we compare that with Fall Iris, 10,992,000 versus 10,141,000. So Fall Iris is actually a little bit stronger still than Oleana. But just in case we're able to get ourselves Poison Zone with the help of Fall Iris and we compute that, that goes up to 15 million damage if you have Red and Snorlax or probably some other sync pair, like for example Detective Steven or Cosplay Steven to give yourself super effective up next. Some other sync pairs can also do that if I'm not mistaken. Get ourselves a super effective up next, calculate the damage, that goes up to 22,817,000. Way stronger. But right now, let's just give ourselves stuff that we can get. That's 10,141,000. But what about the damage, guys? This is the DPS build again. And if we give ourselves Critical Strike 2, check the damage. We can give ourselves a Poison type negative rebuff over here. And without the super effective up next, without the Poison Zone, we can deal how much damage with Gunk Shot? 1,697,436. Plus, you know, G-Max Malador will definitely be using that. 2,089,152. If we compare that with Fall Iris's Hyper Beam, well, the easier way is to just get all these so that we do not have to think too hard. So we get all these, all these, all these, all these, all these, which is impossible, but for the sake of speeding this up, and we can give ourselves super effective up next, we can give ourselves poison zone, we make her 6-star EX, calculate the damage, that's 2,376,580. At Oleana and Garbodor, if we do this, if we get everything, tak 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 damage, poison rebuff, always removes that poison rebuff, calculate the damage, 6-star EX, you can get 1,739,162. Still weaker than Fall Iris. Now, that's a bad thing. But the good thing about this one is that Oleana is not just an attacker. You do not use her for attacks. You use her to be a great debuffer for the opponent. Remember that Fall Iris, if I'm not mistaken, cannot poison the opponent. Or can she? Let me check. Skills. Okay, never mind. She can poison the opponent, but only normal poison. Oleana, when you poison the opponent, badly poison. Now, if you combine Oleana and Fall Iris, if Fall Iris is the one to poison the opponent, remember that Fall Iris will badly poison the opponent instead of poison the opponent because of her passive skill, because of Oleana's passive skill. Max move hit, team poison. Oh, wait, not this one. Ally poisons, badly poison. Except in certain circumstances, when an ally leaves an opponent poison, leaves it badly poisoned instead. So you can have any sync pair in your team, any sync pair. Poison the opponent. For example, James, you know, if you want to save your G-Max Malador, guys, if you want to use your double sync buffers, you know, some people like, for example, me, I like to use my max move after at least one double support sync buff. So, James has Poison Gas. Poison Gas poisons every single opponent. With Poison Gas plus Garbodor, all the opponents will be badly poisoned instead of normal poison, which is gonna be a very helpful addition to our team. And again, if the opponent is poisoned, just use 2 Venom Drenches. And all the stats, all the offensive stats, attack, special attack, and speed stat of the opponent will be down to -6 instantly. Also, you get to give everyone a poison type rebuff after using G-Max Malador on the opponent. That makes your poison type attacks way stronger. So that is all Oleana and Garbodor has to have. Not just an offensive attacker, but also a very good debuffer in terms of attacks, in terms of offenses. In terms of defenses, no, she cannot lower the opponent's special defense, but you can. Actually, she can. If you have her 4 out of 5, you can lower the opponent's special defense. If you have her 4 out of 5, you can lower the opponent's defense. You can also lower all the other stats, -2 every single time you use Gong Shot on the opponent. So, she is a debuffer. A strong attacker debuffer unit. And a very strong sync nuker as well, considering you can give herself Poison Zone. So in terms of, you know, I am doing shorts recently of the strongest sync nukers in the game. Although I do not have Marnie 6-star EX, I'm gonna consider doing that. Oleana, powered up with Poison Zone, becomes the strongest poison-type Sink Nuker in the game. But, you know, meta always changes. And although I can say that 2 power plays, it's gonna be hard to defeat that meta, that poison-type meta. 2 power plays is just so strong. Those multipliers are very, very hard to beat. But she's currently the poison type, the new poison type meta, not just in offenses, but also in debuffing. A very, very good sync pair. If you want to scout her, go ahead. One bad side is that you are not guaranteed a copy at any time except for 36,600 gems. And she maxes out at 5 out of 5, provided that you get the best of her at 3 out of 5. You already get the best of her. 4 out of 5 just makes her a crazier debuffer. 5 out of 5 just completely deals with the move gauge management just in case. But that's that, guys. And if you want to scout for her right now after listening to my discussion, you can tell me in the comment section. But I'm really excited about Oleana and Garbodor, but not as much as how I'm excited with the Rose and Copperajah. These other two, well, your good and bad videos will come at a later time. I'm not inspired of doing them. Really boring sync pairs. Can totally skip them, guys. But with that said, again, faves over the meta. And these are the multipliers which we talked about earlier. Just a little refresher of this one. You can check this out right now. Pause, because I'm moving on. Poison debuffer meta. Strongest poison type Sink Nuker in terms of if you can give herself Poison Zone. But with that, very strong sync pair. Let me know your bad sides if you do not like anything about Oleana. Ugly sides, nothing. Except maybe that the anniversary is so near and we do not get any good gems, amount of gems this month. And with that, that is the end of my good versus the bad video for Oleana and Garbodor. Again, if you appreciate this video and enjoy this, would appreciate a thumbs up as well as support in coffee if you are willing to. But with that, join my 10k giveaway. And that's the end. Thank you to all the members of my channel again, especially my gifters. And thank you to Master Boltier, Shadowfill, Pokeboltier, Alcin, Roy, Luca, and Jeremy for 2 years of support. Thank you to Marokman for Ultra Boltier, Ewiz for Pokeboltier, and Tatsuya Gold for Pokeboltier. 1 year of support. And thank you to my Great Boltier members, Agent 10 Splatoon, Aurora Espion, Yuki Murasaki, my Premier Boltier member, Shido, and Pokeboltier members, Apsaras, Edward, and Kan for all the support. Thank you guys so much for the extra generosity. And with that said, that is the end. This is Sol, also known as SPL Gum, also known as Spatial Gum, also known as Grunt, the artist Team Skull Grunt. Side note, currently friendship level 87 with Irida. I got shafted earlier. Fingers crossed, can go 100 tomorrow. But I doubt. I have my doubts. 87 is quite far. If it's 89, I'm pretty confident, but it's 87. But hopefully, can get Irida to level 100 tomorrow for an extra showcase video. That's it. See you in the next one. This is Sol, also known as SPL Gum, also known as Spatial Gum, also known as Grunt, the artist Team Skull Grunt. I will see you in the next video. Rawr.